Hello and welcome to Just Do It, an unprepared podcast. I am Alex.
I am the other one. That's
You're
Eric.
cutting in and out there, bud. Hello?
Hello?
You seem to have lost Eric.
Oh, I am back. I was lost, but now I am found. That's right. I'm Eric, the other host of this here podcast.
All right, sweet. How was your day, Eric? Mine was pretty good.
Alex, we gotta catch up, man. It's been a while.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
been a while.
the last podcast was uploaded 2 days ago?
Well, we did have some technical difficulties, yeah.
Yeah, there were the big CEOs at YouTube were out here, and they were like, you know what? We can't let these people have a platform to speak on. They're just too much. I think YouTube has been taking a lot of Food Network money recently, so
That would make sense, yeah.
they were
Fortunately-
afraid of what the people would do with the recipes that we had.
Fortunately for the people, though, Eric, we had our litigious hamster, Bilo, our executive producer, go after him. And he managed to get us on the air after a couple of days of delay.
It was a whole deliberation process, honestly. It was a little scary. Bilo was let's just say, to make it in this industry, you gotta have a lot of cojones, and there's no one with bigger body to cojones ratio than Bilo.
Yeah, that's really what counts. And he's knocking that ratio out of the park. Much like these absolutely delicious ravioliuses that I had, man. And we're not talking, Eric, we're not talking handmade raviolis. Let's not be crazy. We're talking previously frozen raviolis that you boil in water for 10 to 15 minutes and then you just eat them.
I like those. That's pretty good.
Chef Gordon Ramsay, he always recommends the water has to be salty like the oceans. That's why I always salt my pasta water.
Oh, you're a salt the pasta water. Do you also salt the pasta afterwards?
No, definitely not, because the seasoning's already in the water, and I don't swim in a very salty ocean, so I make it kind of somewhere between, like a large lake, but not quite an ocean salinity, you know.
Interesting. That is that's quite interesting, because I know I like my water nice and not salty, but it also starts with an S. Sewagey. That's right. I like
not
to just
healthy.
No, it's good. It adds extra flavor. You know, it gets all the good bacteria in there. It makes you heartier.
That's why I was told not to swim in the Charles River.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah, I was told that all the harmful sewage and chemicals are sequestered in the lower 12 feet of the river, and the first 1.5 feet is okay to go sailing on, but not.
Yeah,
not
that's
swimming.
that's the fresh runoff stuff right there. That's good.
Yeah.
But Alex, I was gonna say, what's the sort of scenario with a nice triathlon down there? I mean, I heard that the brewery triathlon is coming back soon.
Well, you heard incorrectly, actually. We're kicking it up a notch. The brewery triathlon wasn't triathlon-y enough. And so what we decided to do was kick it up a notch with a shot from our Spice Weasel, Chef Elzar style.
Bam!
And
we're
taking it on the road. Exactly. We're taking it on a road up to the White Mountains to do the Cannon Mountain Triathlon. Now, don't let people tell you, hey, they might say stuff like, hey, Alex, isn't that like an actual triathlon you can run? A bunch of hogwash and poppycock. Our triathlon does, a nice 800 meters. Maybe we'll do an Olympic triathlon, but probably not. It's a full day. It's more of a half-day commitment. It's like a morning or afternoon thing.
With ample drinking fit in.
Yeah, well, we're going to do a half a mile of swimming out on the old Echo Lake, I think is the name of the lake. And then we'll drink some beer. And then at the Cannon Mountain parking lot. And then we'll do our nice 12-mile bike ride.
Well, Alex,
drink some more beer. And then run 3 miles up to the top of Cannon Mountain, where, Eric, I don't know if you know this, they have a brewery. Well, not a brewery. They have a tap house.
Is there actually a tap house up there?
There's a tap at the top of the gondola, and so we can finish off with a fresh, foamy pint at the highest beer tap in all of New Hampshire.
Wow, that's actually exciting. That's very cool. What's the sort of what is it? What's the transition amount of beers? Is the real question.
Oh, it's 1 beer per transition, so that you've had 4 beers by the time you're done your marathon. Triathlon.
Is it like what kind of beer are we talking? Because I mean, one light beer is not going to cut it. You're going to need to have something heavy to really get that brewery feel, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, you need a local New England beer. You can go with a Goes if you're feeling adventurous, but we recommend a strong IPA or double IPA. Maybe and maybe a refreshing blackberry wheat. Also a good choice.
Very classy.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, that is all of our fitness corner and apparently, food discussion that we could fit in for now.
Well, before we wrap up the fitness corner,
I was gonna say,
gotta tell you a new
no
workout.
doubt, Alex, there's no doubt we're gonna come back to it because we do love talking about food, as evident from when we didn't have a plan, we just started talking about food, which apparently we had a whole podcast last week about it, but I was very here for that.
Yeah, so before we transition out, I just got to do a little segment I'm calling Alex's workout of the week. So Alex's workout of the week, everyone knows I detest working out, but I do it anyway because that's what makes you strong. So
Big boy.
Alex's workout of the week this week is run a mile to the climbing gym, okay?
Ooh, nice.
Then when you get to the climbing gym, realize it's kind of hot outside. So you don't really want to like keep running. Running's kind of icky.
No, yeah, you get sweaty. That's icky.
Exactly. So what you're going to do is you're going to do a nice half an hour on the elliptical, which is almost like running, but inside where it's air conditioned. Okay. Try not to get bored out of your mind. It's pretty boring in there.
I was gonna say for like half a mile, that's a lot, especially because like whenever I get on
30 minutes.
I was gonna say because whenever I get on an elliptical, like that thing barely moves at all. I keep going and I just never move anywhere.
Oh yeah, I mean you keep it'll shuffle a little bit. You want to
it's just that side to side motion because I'm throwing that thing, shaking what my mama gave me side to side, really rocking it, getting my distance that way. But like I look at my watch and it's like you have gone, like 20 feet, and I'm like, damn, I've been on here for like an hour.
Yeah, I can sometimes get 3 or 4 centimeters on the elliptical for sure. Just like scooching it, you got to scooch it. And then after that, you have to run home. So the workout, Alex's workout of the week is run to the gym, do an elliptical workout where there's air conditioning, and then run home.
I like that. Eric's workout of the week,
keeping that foot rate up.
That's good. Eric's workout of the week is no cardio, just hop in the squat rack and go until your knees explode. And remember, as the saying is, I will not censor myself for our viewers because this is a saying, which is ass to grass. So if your booty is not down touching the mats every single time, it's not a real squat. And if your knees haven't completely exploded and your patellar tendon like extremely inflamed, it was not a good day.
And I want to clarify for our listeners at home, squats until your knees explode was Eric's workout of the week last week, the week before, and the week before that.
How do you sculpt this lower body, Alex? My glutes are out of this world. My hamstrings, pretty tight. Definitely could do something there. Quads also out of this world. But let me let you in on some insider trading, Alex. Calves. One, the ladies love them. The men wish they had them. I'm just the talk of the town when I walk in with my capris. Everyone's looking at these short leg pants that go just below the knee to hide my terrible knee diseases and whatnot from all of the explosions. But baby, the calves are popping. I can't even confine them to socks anymore. Socks and pants just don't fit over the calves. I have to use special zip up and button up pants to get them on.
That's truly unfortunate. Only the largest of the most calfly gifted of us have to deal with that tragedy of having zip up and button up pants. Eric, how's the Oshkies treating you? You know, what with the knee explosions every week?
Well, I think that's where it all started. So back when I was a youngin, when my bones and whatnot got all tangled up because I was growing or something, and growth plates. Think of your knee as the planet, and the continents are always shifting on that mantle below, and
Yeah.
that's where we get tectonic plates, and the Ring of Fire and like all that seismic and volcanic activity is due to the subduction and advection of those plates. So that's what's going on in my knee. I got two things going in there, and they're bumping each other up, and they're getting all jazzy and spicy, and I got a little Mount Everest down underneath my knee.
Oh, that checks out. Yeah.
Yeah, the exploding, it's contained. It's not volcanic yet, but there are a whole lot of landslides going on in those
Yeah.
knees.
A lot of hot spots.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually wild. So you know how Hawaii is a plate moving over a localized hotspot that's at the
Yeah.
same location. That's why you can sort of see how Hawaii's moving, and it's causing more island
Well, you got
chains
that
to
like
be formed, right?
Yellowstone, like, geyser action going on in your knee, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I got the Hawaii thing. So
Oh, all
right
right.
now, I got the big one, and there's
Uh-huh.
another small one forming a little down from it.
Gotcha. That
So
checks out. Yeah.
I think eventually it's gonna create a whole
Whole
chain,
a chain
and
of knee
then
bumps.
I think I might have to start advertising my knee as the next hit tourist spot, because I definitely want to make some money if I have the next
Oh
Hawaii
yeah,
on my body.
absolutely. All right, Eric, where were we transitioning before I distracted us?
Well, I think we have to have a main topic, which was not fitness corner. It
Right.
was none other than How to Change Your Mind, a book. The subtitle is What the New Science of Psychedelics Teaches Us About
Oh,
Consciousness,
baby.
Dying, Addiction, Depression, and Transcendence, by author Michael Pollan, which was released in May 15th, 2018. So
That's
not too long
fairly
ago.
relevant. Yeah. What is his favorite psychedelic?
I believe his favorite psychedelic is what's the it, peyote.
Oh, he's big into the peyote. Of the
Yep.
psychedelics, which one is the most psychic and which one's the most delic?
I gotta say the most psychic is probably that all the artificial things. So I believe the LSD, which stands for loose psychedelic drug. And then that's definitely the most psychic one because it's in the name.
Yeah. I like how you
Um,
spelled psychedelic with an S.
well, yeah, it's the loose psychedelic drug.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Uh-huh.
and then what did you say? That was the most
Oh, what's the
psychic?
most delic one? That one's the most
The
psychic, you said.
delic
What's the
is the
most
ones you
delic
eat.
one?
So it's the
Yeah.
delectables, right? That's
Got
where you
you.
get that from. So the most delic ones are like your mushrooms and whatnot.
Gotcha. Does he give any good recipes in the book? Because I got this killer psychedelic mushroom and weed butter risotto. Does he
Ooh.
give any dope recipes for mixing psychedelics? Of course, you
Um.
top it off with a peyote drizzle.
Oh, of course. You gotta have the peyote drizzle and the ayahuasca infused rice grains, of course.
Right. Yeah. Well, you cook the rice in an ayahuasca broth.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
where you get the flavor. If
That's how
not,
you get the flavor into that risotto. You got to make sure the rice grains are perfect size.
yeah, that sounds about right. But it comes down to it. Yeah, no, he doesn't. He actually does not advise mixing of psychedelics.
Wow. I guess that man's never had my
Unless,
risotto because that's a trip.
Alex,
Yeah.
unless you're trying to win the blue ribbon at the psychedelic culinary institute, the SCI, the Psychedelic Culinary Institute.
Psychedelic
So
still pretty sure spelt with a PYS
no,
something.
I'm trying to get a good acronym out of this. Okay.
Still think it starts with a P, but I could be wrong.
Well,
Spelling's not my strong suit.
that's why whenever you think about psychedelics, you just have to
Yeah.
remember the acronym IC, which is intake psychedelics exorbitantly extreme.
Got it.
And
Got it.
that's how he recommends it. So you have to remember IC.
Right.
That's the acronym you got to go for.
So like Archimedes, after his discoveries, he would go Eureka. You got to be like, I see, and then just massively trip.
Oh yeah, something like that.
Yeah. What is he? Does he have any references about the original psychedelic drug, tripping on a crack in the sidewalk and dealing as you fall to the ground with all the guilt of breaking your mother's back?
I don't believe he said anything about that, but yes.
'Cause, I mean,
Remember,
whomst among us hasn't done that in grade school?
if you step on a crack, you break your mama's back. But
Right.
Alex,
Yeah.
what about line?
Ooh. I don't remember what happens to the line, but it's not good.
Well, that's if you step on a line, you break your daddy's spine.
Oh, not my dad's spine.
I
Maybe that's what
know.
happened to dad's spine.
Yeah, something like that.
Stepped on too many lines in middle school.
Yeah, a whole lot of lines, cracks. Who knows?
Of drugs, right? See, it all comes back to the psychedelics.
Something like that. So, but overall, this book received a lot of positive reviews. Not by us. We do not advocate this book. I think this book was a sham.
Yeah, the only drugs we endorse are big rosé and homegrown hops.
Unless new psychedelic drug companies want to, sponsor us, because we will shill for anything.
Oh, you like just like the Saudi golf tour. If you give us enough money, we'll shill anything.
Of course.
I mean, sorry, this podcast. I'd like to interrupt your regularly scheduled Dewey Brothers podcast to inform you that as the editor of this podcast, we will absolutely change our ethical stance in order, based on how much money we're given. So, anyway, I just want to make that abundantly clear that we will actually shill for anything. Just send us those schmeckleby doodahs. Now returning back to your regularly scheduled podcasting. So, yeah, Eric, I mean, I think we should stand firm and stop just taking money on products we don't believe in. So that's why that book would never get our approval.
Alex, I mean, yeah, but they bring up some good points. Like this one structure. So it's structured into six different parts. It's like talking about the history of the drugs and like the psychedelics on your brain and like that weird thing that the government was doing back in like the 50s through
mind control
90s.
Yeah.
No, something about that. But there's also this one section which is dedicated to the use of psychedelics in fitness routines, especially this one. It says to avoid severe knee explosions, just get really, really high, which is interesting.
That's very interesting. I was unaware of that therapy for avoiding knee explosions, actually.
Yeah, so psychotherapy, because apparently knee explosions are actually it's a mental state.
So that makes sense.
So your knees can't explode if that's just, you got to think about it like that.
Oh, see, I was reading a paper, Eric, because it's obviously a known fact that knee explosions are a psychological effect that then manifests into a physical one. And I heard that if you worry enough during your growing stages, like you have chronic worrying, then you'll have perfectly shaped knees. And if you've just never worried before in your life, you have an excess of knee growth action, and so that's how you get the subduction zone of a kneecap.
Yeah, I actually also have heard that there's some studies about the lack of dreams of not handing in papers coincides with very large knee bumps and
exactly. That's
knee
why
issues.
Right. First children almost never have knee issues because they have tons of anxiety. They're just racked with guilt. But the second child, they seem to have terrible knee conditions, probably because how chill they are.
That does add up. I have heard that the little anxiety gremlins that come in and tamper with your brain.
Yep.
They get lost and they get hungry from tampering with your brain so much that they eat away any excess knee buildup on their way out in the morning.
That's just straight truth, yeah.
So yeah, they come in, they're like, "Oh man, I worked extra hard. Ooh, what's this? A little bit of extra knee juices?" And then they slurp that up, and then you don't get any knee things.
Then you don't need to worry about building the Mount Everest of kneecaps. Now, Eric, I think it's time to wrap this podcast up and thank our sponsors that we stand fully behind, that really espouse the virtues of a righteous and kid-friendly Just Do It podcast. What do you think?
What's that, Bilo? We need to bring in more money because you had to deal with that whole litigation process last week. Okay. Yep. Yeah. I mean, that goes against my morals for sure. Alex, if we accepted a whole lot of money from ISIS, what would you say? No.
Wow.
No, not that one.
That would be
ISIS,
that would
of course. ISIS, of course, being the goddess of Egypt, selling their new Egyptian-style psychedelics.
That's right. Get your ISIS, Eye of ISIS, Egyptian psychedelics now. Eric, I would like
Before
to say...
you see...
I would like to say they'll open up a third eye right on your forehead. That's how high you're going to be. I would like to point out that we have a generous sponsorship deal from the new Just for Kids juice box version of Big Rosé. This line of flavors, including Tutti Frutti and Berry Blast, is perfect for any children from 11 up. So make sure you get them hooked on rosé today.
Well, remember, all the cool kids are doing it on the playground.
Exactly. Peer pressure is good for you.
And when you think about it, I mean, hey, you don't want to be that lame kid who's not having a wicked rad summer with Rosé the Roadrunner. That's right. He's going to be stopping by a bunch of towns near you and distributing his new product. Juice Rosé box chillers. That's right. All the cool kids will have their own collectible rosé boxes filled with 6% fun flavors like Tutti Frutti and Watermelon Wisp.
That's right. Just all you have to do is go find Rosé Roadrunner's unmarked white van and knock on the front door in order to be let in the back for an exclusive rosé experience.
Oh no.
Eric, I think Big Rosé has gone too far, but you know,
maybe
Elo approved it. So this podcast is also brought to you by Wholesome Homegrown Hops, way better than Big Rosé. Big Rosé is messed up, man. Just grow some plants in your backyard. They're really growing this time of year, and then put them in some delicious homegrown hops beer. Homegrown hops.
We couldn't have done it without the tap room up at Cannon, sponsoring the not official Cannon triathlon. So come on out and get absolutely plastered on the top of a mountain.
This podcast is brought to you by Kneecap Seismology. Have you ever wondered how to have a giant knee avalanche? What size knee quakes can you expect when you're growing? Go get a degree in kneeology.
That's good. We have to thank Polluted Waters of the metropolitan Boston area. Do you want to grow a third leg? Heck, are your knees not as large and imposing as your friends? Well, just take a long dip in the polluted waters, and hey, something is bound to happen.
If you have the K2 of knee bumps, but you want the Mount Everest, go hang out in the Charles. All right, this has been Just Do It, a Dewey Brothers podcast, season 6, train wreck, because Eric had to go watch a movie with Murray or something. I'm Alex.
Yeah. I'm Eric.
For the love of God, man.
You gotta send it.